All right, and I'm rolling. It's May 9th, 2024. I'm out here in Utah. Right now I'm actually in the town of Lehi, Utah. I think it's about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake. My all-time favorite movie was filmed out here. It was 40 years ago this year. And the school where they filmed it, it's about to get torn down. By the caption of my video, I'm sure it says Footloose already, so you know I'm here for Footloose. But my first stop is the roller mills. This is where Kevin Bacon worked in the movie. I'm kind of close. I have to back up and do better videos, and I'm right next to traffic. I don't know if you can hear me, or if I can hear me. But I'm out here for a week to try to capture all the filming locations from the 1984 movie Footloose. Kevin Bacon, Laurie Singer, John Lithgow, Chris Penn, Sarah Jessica Parker, other names I'm sure I'm forgetting. I can't see with the glare on my screen if I could see the roller mills behind me, but this was the place where Kevin Bacon worked in the movie and where they supposedly did the dance at the end of the movie. I'm gonna walk around and line up some pictures and then go visit more locations. There's one spot that we know for sure happened right here, and I'm gonna go stand there if I can make it up these stairs. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. 40 years ago this year, it was right in here where Ren was working. It was right in here where Ren was working. And Ariel comes out after I've already repeated the story like 3 times. Anyway, she challenges them to the little tractor thing. And she walks out this way. See those mountains behind her? It was right here. I know Laurie Singer will never see this, but if she happens to click this YouTube video, Laurie Singer, I love you. I hope to one day meet you at a meet and greet. If you ever do any Comic Cons or anything like that, I would love a picture with Ariel Moore. But it was right here. All this still looks the same. These columns, beams, whatever you call them. She walks out this way. You see the back of her? And then she looks over her shoulder with that beautiful, amazing, sexy look of hers. It was right when he asked her, "Why did he send you?" And she turns over her shoulder and says, "I volunteered." That was right here.
Hey, yo. How come you sent you?
Turns and goes this way.
I volunteered.
But that was right here. I'm on sacred ground. Laurie Singer. Ariel Moore, Footloose, 40 years ago. Right in this spot. And now Ricky's been here. Look, I gotta prove that I was here. My girl, she was right here. All right, that's enough from the roller mills. I'm going to go around and why are the flags at halfway in Utah? I don't know what's going on in the world right now. Okay, but I'm in this spot. Gotta go, new spot. All right, I'm not even going to get out of the car for this one. But this is the angle you see where they're all riding their motorcycles to get the roller mills ready for the dance. They come right down the street. Man, this place has changed a lot from when I used to hang out here. All right, made it to the next destination of the Footloose filming location tour. This is the church we see at the beginning of the movie, the one where Reverend Moore runs, which was right across the street from the house they lived in. And this is where Ren meets Ariel for the first time. Turn my camera around. Let's see. And here's the church. Man, all of this looks the exact same. 40 years later, beginning of the movie, we see the church from this angle. Move my camera back a little bit. It's like this. And then we go from here to the inside of the church. Now there's a few scenes that take place outside. There's people coming out of the church. I might have to stop my video for a moment, but there's a few scenes that definitely happen out here. When church left, we see Ren standing right over here. I gotta line up the pictures. Ren is standing right here, talking to John Lithgow. It must be on the hour, huh? What time is it? 12 o'clock. So at the beginning of the movie, when the church lets out, we see Ren and his mom standing right here, talking to Reverend Moore and his wife. And then the girls come running from over here. You see Ariel and her friends come running around the side of the building. I'll add those pictures. And they run up to the dad and ask permission if she could go off with her friends. And that's where he introduces her to Ren for the first time. He goes, hey, this is Ren. He's gonna be attending your school. I don't know if we'll be able to get to the inside of the church, but man, some of my favorite scenes take place inside the church.
Well, you can see the steel bar separating the top from the bottom. That just adds some structural stabilities for the glass itself so that it can support itself.
Right.
So we stopped by the church. It'll come to you as soon as we walk out. We made it to the church, and they were nice enough to let us in. The school's in session right now, but the kids are outside. But everything in here still looks the same. They have a theater show the kids are putting on tomorrow. Stained glass, when the windows are all in the same place, they just have different windows. Stained glass is different, but the pews look the same. He said they're all the same. Doors, everything is in the same spot. Wow. One of my favorite scenes happens right here. It was after the fight that Ariel had with her dad. Okay, the pastor's not here, I can say it, but Ariel's arguing with her dad right here, saying, listen, I believe in you, but I just don't believe in everything you believe in. And she tells her dad, I'm not even a virgin anymore. And Reverend Moore is standing right up there, and he says, don't you talk like that in here? And she says, why? Isn't this where I'm supposed to confess my sins? Right here. All in the same place. There's lots of scenes filmed in here. At the beginning of the movie, Ren was sitting on this side. And Ariel and her friends were over here, looking over their shoulder at Ren for the first time. Ren and his mom are right here. Later in the movie, we see Diane Weiss sitting back here. I forgot what her name is, the Reverend's wife. Just sitting in here after the Reverend and Ariel had an argument at the house, and he smacks her. But it still looks the same. I'm gonna line up some pictures here. Wow. Very nice. They were nice enough to let us in here for a few minutes to take some pictures.
To me. I'm no saint, you know.
It is my duty to look after the spiritual growth of you.
I'm not even a virgin.
Don't you talk like that in here!
Why not? Isn't this where I'm supposed to confess my sins to my preacher? In church! I asked to be forgiven. Am I? Oh, forgive me and deliver me because I'm so...
It's right here where the girls, after Ariel talks to her dad and says, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. They come running right through here. You can see these windows, nothing's changed. And they run, even with this door that looks the exact same. I'm trying to find that scene in the movie now so I get a screen capture, I don't have it. And their car was parked right here. All right, so we just got to go inside the church, which was really cool. It's right there. The church we see at the beginning of the movie, where Ren sees Ariel for the first time and they meet officially out here. Then we see the girls after that scene run to the car and drive off. Well, we got to go inside. There's a school in session, but they're on their lunch break. They're not inside, and the pastor guy let us inside. I unfortunately don't know anything about church or the etiquette or what you call them, sir, pastor, minister. So I was trying to be very polite. The guy was so nice. He blessed me a couple times, let us go inside, take pictures. But before we leave, I had to go across the street, directly across the street. This entire block, when the movie was made, from the traffic light down there, all this way, there were houses right here. I'm not sure how much the owners of those homes were paid to sell, but they all must have agreed because the entire block, all the houses, if you watch Footloose, all this was full of houses. And all the houses were bought, torn down, and turned into the strip mall. And just past this Pizza Hut, and I can't stand there because it's the dang entrance and exit to the plaza, but right here, right in the middle where this entrance is where Ariel's house was. Ariel and Reverend Moore's house would have been right there. Because we know this, when Ren comes to pick her up for the prom at the end of the movie, he comes up right up this street. That house in the corner is clearly still the same. He stops right here and walks up the stairs to go get Ariel for prom. And that's when she opens the door, comes outside. And one of my favorite scenes of the movie, which I think I call every scene my favorite scene, but one of my many favorite scenes of the movie, as he's walking up and he sees her for the first time in her prom dress, he just pauses and she looks concerned like, what happened? And he just says, "You're beautiful." And then she starts looking at her dress. She goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I mean it, you're beautiful." And he walks up to her door, takes her by the hand. He walks her back down to his Volkswagen, which is parked right here. It's crazy that this is now the entrance to a strip mall, but his car was right up against the curb, and we could see when he's opening the door for her, this is in the background. This part of the church building is right there. He walks up to the door and goes to open it to let her in, but it's locked. So you see Ren run around the back of his Volkswagen. He opens the driver's side door, he climbs across the seat, unlocks the door, and she's about to get in, and he goes, no, wait. And he runs back around the back of the car. Then he comes over, opens a door for her, and lets her in. He closes the door, and as he closes the door, it won't shut, so he kicks it. He kicks the door real hard, and then he walks back around the car real slow with a little strut, like all proud. Heck yeah, I'm the man. I got the pretty girl. But while all that's happening, you see this building in the background with those little squares or triangles. All that can be seen clearly in the background, and you can clearly see that house. None of this has changed in the last 40 years. Right here. Reverend Moore and Ariel's house would have been right at the entrance of this plaza. All right, I was on my way to another location just up the street from here. And we happened to cross over these train tracks. Oh, I don't know if I could tell from here. I got the screen shots from the movie. But after the girls leave the church, at the beginning of Footloose, and they're driving, we see an aerial view. Haha, see what I did there, aerial. A sky-high view further back than this with this track, but it's real high. And you see the little car that they're driving in come across these tracks, which leads to another famous scene, which we're on our way to there. But I get a little further back. I was gonna walk closer to the tracks, but I've done a few filming locations with train tracks and people fuss at me for being too close to the tracks. I'm not gonna do that anymore. But there's a aerial angle down where you can see the same mountains. See, there's still snow up there and it's cloudy, but I've lined it up. All those mountains are the same. Today you won't be able to tell, but the girls leave the church. They show them cross right over these same train tracks. Then they make a turn, and that's where we're heading next, is to where when Chuck pulls up behind them in the car and Ariel does that crazy stunt of climbing out of the car, and she climbs from her friend's car into Chuck's truck. That happens just not even a mile from here. But this is the spot on the tracks where they cross. All right, so Ariel and her friends would have been coming from this direction, and Chuck pulls up behind them in his pickup truck, and Ariel tells her friend, pull up alongside, and she's gonna jump in his truck. And it's right down this angle that they're driving. You can see that hill in the background with the big 18-wheeler that's coming down towards them. I gotta do this with cars coming. But it was right here on this strip of road. There was train tracks just up here, and you can see the railroad crossing in the movie, but they've been replaced. The tracks aren't there anymore, but this is the street. And that's the hill where the truck was coming down that almost hit the front of Ariel's friend's car. So before I left this area, I thought I'd take a quick video from the other angle. So the big 18-wheelers coming this way, and Ariel and her friends are in the car coming towards us, and they show a quick shot of what oh look, a big truck's coming, just like in the movie. Big 18-wheeler. If I don't get hit, probably shouldn't be stopped here. I'll show you what the truck looks like, what the truck driver would have seen as he's coming from over the hill. The angle is this way, and in the movie, you see the train track, the railroad crossing is right here. Well, the railroad track is not used anymore, so they removed the railroad crossing. But before I leave, I could prove, I think the track is still here, or some of it. Would have been right by where this little house is. This is part of the railroad. Maybe it's gone. But in the movie, truck's coming from that side. Oh, the track is here. You can still see the track. So in the movie, you see the railroad crossing, and they're not here, but the old abandoned tracks are here. Man, this is awesome. 40 years ago, Ariel and her buddies were heading this way. Big truck was coming this way and had to swerve at the last second not to hit the truck. Now, fun fact, I read online and I've seen interviews that Laurie Singer gave, who played Ariel. Back in those days, they didn't have green screen and all the effects. That was really her climbing out of the car and getting into the truck that Chuck was driving. But here's my proof that the train track were here. Trucks coming from this side, from both angles. When you see behind Ariel and when they're facing Ariel, you see the train tracks. There they are. On to the next location. All right. This is really cool. So in the beginning of the movie, when Ren comes in, and Ren is walking in on his first day, and he goes up the stairs. This ADA ramp wasn't here, but Ren walks up the stairs, and he bumps into Willard right around here. And that's when Willard stops and says, "Hey, watch where you're going, mister." And he tells Willard, "Hey, I like that hat. Do they sell men's shirts where you bought that hat? That was right here." Kevin Bacon is walking up, goes up these stairs, and bumps into Willard right around here. Ah, that is so cool. It's all right here.
How to comb your hair?
Shit, mister, where are you going? Son of a bitch, you're supposed to look.
Sorry.
Hey, where'd you learn how to drive anyway? You're supposed to stay on the right side.
Hey, I like that hat, man. You sell men's clothes? Where you got that?
Come on.
Okay, so they have been so nice to let us into the school and look around. In a couple of years, the school's not going to be standing here any longer. Okay, I totally just got like chills looking at this. When you look this way, there's the hallway where Ren and Willard go across when he's teaching them to dance. And it's so cool that the school even has it captured in a photo right above the lockers. That is so cool. They have it all the way down. I read that in real life, Chris Penn wasn't much of a dancer, so they really had to add that into the movie, that they're teaching him how to dance. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. There's the camera angle shows the bricks right here, and they're dancing across, and he's doing the little hop. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Sacred ground. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. They're letting us into the room. The scene where Kevin Bacon's sitting in the back corner of this room and his friend is trying to sell him pot. And he's like, no, I don't need that. And the kid's trying to sell him pot and he puts it in his pocket. And Kevin Bacon's like, no, don't give me that. And the teacher comes in this door and he comes around. Kevin Bacon was sitting in the back corner. No, it's okay. No. And he comes by and he runs right out this door. And you could see all these switches on the door. We matched up the bricks. And then he runs out and he runs into a bathroom. So Michael found one. Will you still get that picture pulled up?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Michael has a picture. She zoomed in when he's walking out of the class. Behind his arm, there's a long scratch on the wall on the bricks. And it's still there today. That same long scratch 40 years later. So yeah, this is the room. Okay.
You think I do that with a real joint? Do you know what an OZ is going for these days?
I'm gonna get you. You wait. I'm gonna get you. 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 I'm gonna
Everyone's right about you.
Oh man, the bathroom still looks the same. So Kevin Bacon, Ren McCormack runs in that first door. Then you see there's a second door right here. There's like 2 doors. He runs in. The camera angles this way. You see this mirror. And then he runs into this first stall. And he flushes the weed down that toilet. It's right here. Craziness. Love it. But Ren is telling that crazy story to Willard about the girls back home and all the crazy things they do. And you could see those windows. Everything lines up. The window, the brick, and the courtyard is blocked by Kevin Bacon's head, which would have been right here. But the camera angle's showing Willard's face, right? Willard is right here. I had to record. This is amazing. Just do a quick thing of their cafeteria. Do a little spin around. This is amazing that they gave us free reign to the school to walk around. We found Ren's locker. We found where Ren first bumps into Willard. This has been amazing. These people couldn't have been nicer. All right, let's go find outside. We caused trouble. He opened the door for us to come out into the courtyard. So we have confirmed online. There's some that swear the book burning scene was filmed here in their courtyard, and then there's other reports that it was filmed at another school, middle school, not too far from here. But the custodian, I don't know what the right proper term is. A gentleman that's worked here since the movie was made. He's been here forever. We call him the man with the keys because he let us in everywhere. We got to go into rooms I didn't even think we'd get to see. But he was here when they filmed it, and it was here where they filmed the book burning scene, where Reverend Moore comes out here and says, "What are you gonna do after you burn all these books?" Right here in this courtyard. Pretty cool. Go back inside so we could lock the door because he left it open for us. Some skateboarders are out here. All right, we're at the locker. So in the movie, this was Ren McCormack's locker. This is incredible. So if I read online correctly, or maybe you told me, Manon, this one will get saved and taken to the new school. Yes. So Ren McCormack's lockers are gonna get saved.
Photos.
Maybe from
Yeah, that would be great. Donated from. Oh,
He's
look.
even got the Bible verse
Right,
in
that she
there.
gives them. Yeah. What did David do? David danced.
This is a time to weep and a time to laugh.
That's it. They turned right to it.
That's what they highlighted.
And there is a time to dance. I saw that you guys gave him a jacket with the school he was wearing it. That was so cool. I have a few pictures of him standing right here.
We have one in the principal's office. I should go get it and you can put it on and do
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. Oh my gosh, that is so
You're gonna have to
cool.
put that in a case.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna have to go in the case. This is so cool. Let's get the pictures that he took. Ren McCormack's locker from Footloose. He was here just 2 weeks ago for their prom, and he came by and visited and got to see all the locations. He took some pictures right here. He signed this jacket for them. He signed, oh, sorry, I don't know where
It's
it
up
is.
here.
He signed the jacket for them.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And they were so nice.
He put 6 degrees on his signature. Does he always do that?
And they were so nice to let us bring the jacket out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is so cool, but sadly the school's gonna go away. That's why we're out here documenting it. This thing needs to be in the Smithsonian. It should have its own hall in the Smithsonian. You protect that with your life.
Oh, we will.
You protect that. All right, I'm pretty sure this is gonna wrap up the Footloose video. It was right here where they did the tractor chicken race. We walked up and down this hill in both directions. We may or may not be trespassing. There weren't any signs, but I don't know if this is private property or not. But we're definitely in the right place. We have shots of the tractors racing towards each other with the camera angle behind Ren, facing this way. Chuck's coming this way, and you see this little hill going down, and this bush over here. The water's on this side. It would have been somewhere here in the middle where the tractor that Chuck was in goes off into the water and he falls into the water. There's no way to pinpoint the exact spot, but back then you could see these little weeds, bush things growing off the side. Those are still there. There's a couple shots. I have one picture of Willard that we just took where he was sitting here cheering on Ren, and that house is in the background, clearly can be seen. Looks like they added something to it, but that house can be seen. Then we came from way over yonder around that curve. So they filmed in the two sections where Ren's first getting on the tractor and he's trying to learn where all his gauges are. This little street, they call it Canal Road, is facing this way. And we got the picture with those mountains behind Ren's head that all lines up. And we also have this little hill right here that lines up to the side of Ren. So we're definitely in the right spot. We got to go to the school yesterday. They gave us full access. We got to see everything. It was phenomenal. They let me wear a jacket that Kevin Bacon wore with their school colors, with their logo, and he signed it to take some pictures in front of his locker. What else? I think we've covered everything. I think we went to every spot. The restaurant is no longer there. That got knocked down. The high spot, the place that they go to dance over the state line. Building's still there on the outside, but that's no longer there. But we're gonna wrap up this video with where they played chicken with tractors. Came all the way out to Utah specifically to see the school, which is gonna get torn down within a year. And we're gonna wrap it up right here. All right, it's been a while since I made a movie filming location. Don't know how many people are gonna see this. Give me the old, what do the kids say? A thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. What should I have done different? Since we flew all the way out here to cover this, there's two other movie locations, or two other movies that were filmed in this area. I'm gonna go cover maybe tomorrow. We have a few more days. But it was right here. Tractor scene where Ariel started the race. They must have gave her some kind of bridge to get across because she's up on a hill like this, where she comes over and tells Ren, all right, cowboy, when you see this hat go up, you better have your butt in gear. She was standing somewhere around here. I'll try to find that shot to add. All right, Michael, any last words?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
It's too early for that. Out here, it's only like not even lunchtime yet, but back home, it's already, yeah, jump back. All right. Subscribe and like, comment. Adios.